So back on May 1st, I sent an email to the Roblox admins at info@roblox asking them about games that are uncopylocked as well as free models and the situation with OneDev2's Town of Robloxia and how he was hacked and that he confirms that he was hacked and his account was deleted and all this other stuff. In the email, I asked if you're allowed to take other people's free models and then re-upload them under your name, or take somebody's place that is uncopylocked and re-upload it under your name, or if you're allowed to use the Town of Robloxia. Now, I pretty much knew the answers to all of these. I just wanted to see what the admins would respond back to me with. And this is what I got. Thank you for contacting us and for your concern about this issue. If you do not want other users to have access to the buildings / scripting of a place, you should keep the place copy locked. If you are posting free models on the website, then other users are allowed to take the models and use them in their own places. Users can make changes to the models or decide to use the models as they were made. If a user doesn't want their model to be used by other players, they should not post it in the catalog. Thanks. I'm not going to put the name up. Now, they didn't really even touch on the subject of the whole Town Robloxia thing. They said nothing about that. They said that you're allowed to make changes to them, and that if you don't want your model to be taken by somebody, then you should put it up on the catalog. See, it says that that people are allowed to take them and put them in their own places, and they're also allowed to change them. But I don't really see anything in there about taking the free model, like importing into your game, recopying it, and then pasting it under your name. They're simply talking about them taking it and then editing onto it, or them taking it and just using it in their game. They don't say anything about you taking it and then re-uploading it. Same goes for places. You know, they say you should keep your place copy locked if you don't want people taking it. Yeah, I know that. It's kind of obvious. But what happens if you make something for public domain, and then somebody like Julius Cole, being the asshole he is, having to, with these self-entitlement problems, he comes along and he takes your model and he starts taking credit for it. I understand if it's on like a small scale, but, I mean, Julius Cole has over 10 million visits, and every time he adds something new to his game, he puts into the description of his game proof and then a link to the model and says that he apparently made it. The fact that he's maybe copy and pasted it somewhat makes him think that he's made it, but in reality, he never built the thing. He didn't put any fucking work into it. I mean, the only time he ever puts work into free models is when he builds a regen button, and the regenerate button, he didn't even build the regenerate button. He didn't script the regenerate button. So what's in this email doesn't, tell me anything. It doesn't answer any of the questions. I already knew this stuff ahead of time. I already knew that if you don't want stuff up on the front page, or if you don't want your game up on the front page, then don't make it uncopy-locked, or, if you don't want people taking your game. If you don't want your free models taken, don't make them, uncopy-locked. I get that. But what happens if somebody comes along with the attitude of Julius Cole and decides to take it? What do you do then? There's nothing about that. They honestly don't care about it. I mean, they don't even talk about the Town of Robloxia. And the reason I bring this up is because just recently I got an email from people, or not just an email, but I've also gotten people in my comments and stuff like that, asking, I make models, I make these, some people make cars, some people make buildings, some people make places, and they want to share their content out to the public. But at the same time, they don't want people coming along and taking credit for it, because they didn't build it. I mean, honestly, if you're working on something really hard, maybe you're building a really cool car, and you're trying to find a place to put it, but you can't really, you haven't really built a game for it, so you say, fuck it, you upload it to the catalog so somebody else can use it in their games. And if somebody uses it in their game, good, Sometimes you may want credit, and sometimes you may not want credit. But then there's people like Julius Cole who are complete douchebags who come along and take it, and then they upload it under their name and say that they built the thing. And then Julius Cole, with his, 10 million visits and all his dumb fuck supporters, are backing him, saying he totally made that because he stuck a regenerate button on there. And then when you go to Roblox with the issue and they don't even answer your fucking questions, there's obviously something not right here. on both the end of Roblox and on the end of Julius Cole. I mean, why should these people who are just simply trying to make free models so the public can use them have to deal with bullshit like people taking them and then taking credit for the shit that they've put hours of work into, minutes of work, possibly days of work. Depends on the size of the model. And honestly, I think Roblox should really improve on the way that they handle these sort of issues, because there's so many loopholes in here. Anybody can take a free model and then re-upload it. It's fairly easy. I don't expect them to enforce every single one of them, but at least put something in the guidelines that says you shouldn't take credit for other people's work. I mean, I guess you could contact the copyright manager, but even then, if you're contacting the copyright manager, it's usually for claims outside of the game. Maybe somebody like Lego, or somebody like Minecraft, sees somebody building something that is similar to the game. If somebody makes a Minecraft game and Minecraft decides to, contact Roblox to get the game removed. I don't even know why. It's just hypothetical. And they say we don't want this game here because it infringes on our copyright, and then they would take it down. That's sort of like a real copyright, because you can't really have a copyright on virtual items. Well, you can't really have a copyright on the Roblox models and stuff like that, is what I mean. So I honestly think Roblox should really improve this system, as it's pretty easy to abuse, and some people are actually kind of getting mad that their models are being taken. It's not like this is just, that this just started. This has been going on for quite some time. The only reason it blew up is because of people like Julius Cole, with the 10 million people visiting his game, and, him being up on the front page and all these free models, and his dipshit supporters constantly saying that he built these models, yet not, having enough brain cells to go onto the catalog and look at some of the models and compare them to his, and then look at the dates. I mean, the same applies for places. They gotta fucking look at the town of Robloxia and then the different town of Robloxia in order to get an idea that the game is still, it's copied. Because some of these supporters think that, the town of Robloxia, because of the Julius Cole's dumb fuck videos, they think that Julius Cole actually made the town of Robloxia, even though he removed that video, which kind of makes it, it's kind of stupid to say that you made something, then remove the video about it, and, say that they copied off of you, that Play Robot and fucking, 1Dev2 copied off of you when they were on Roblox before you even stepped on it. Stupid shit like that, or how they already had the game up before you even started building your games. I mean, you don't even build your fucking games, Julius. I mean, the only times you ever decide to build was just recently. You put a base plate with 2 spawn points and a murder mystery knife by some guy called Bozo, and said that this is basically that you made this. That's all you made. He didn't change the color of the base plate. He inserted 2 spawn points, and he gave us a knife. But then he took it a step further and actually used the terrain tool. Good boy, Julius. You know how to use the terrain tool now. Good for you. Maybe next you can actually build a fucking game for once. So, I honestly think this issue needs to be fixed. Or there has to be something in the rules that's, that says that you shouldn't be able to do this. Or Roblox can continue to do this, and people can, continue to lose their models to, jerks like Julius Cole, because Roblox doesn't give 2 shits about the people who make free models. And, I'm probably going to get everybody saying that because it's free, you can do whatever you want with it. Yeah, I understand that. These people think that they have such great arguments when they come up to me and say, when it's free, you can, if it's free, that obviously means you can take it and do what you want with it. But it's not a matter of, it being free. It's a matter of that person actually putting work into it, and you having the common courtesy to at least give some fucking credit and not go the extra step and take credit for it. Maybe you could do that. I get that it's free, but you don't have to be an asshole.